Hello and happy Friday. Um, so I have a little bit of a haul and a finished object. Now this finished object, I did use the stitch count, and as I've said all the way through, when I started this top, before I started the top, the whole way through, I've used this stitch count, the stitch count from number 655, which is the Easy Lace Shawl Wrap, Easy Lace Super Shawl Wrap. I think that's what it's called. I'll link it below. Of Bag O' Day of Crystal's tutorial. I used the stitch count. I didn't use the pattern. I'm not into shawls. I like making them. I'm not into scarves. I've made a few of those. I'm not really into cowls. For myself, I thought I'd make a top. This is very warm. Actually, it's very hot. It is made with number 3 Mandela yarn in the color Spirit. Now, I'm going to get up close to the camera. I did the back, and you'll notice that the back is a little bit smaller than the front. When I measured the back, I believe that I stretched it out, so then when I measured the front, what I did was I held the tape measure. I don't know how good this is going to unfold because I don't use it hardly ever. Anyway, I held the tape measure. I held the yarn where I wanted it. This is at 31.5. That's not where I held it. But I held it where I wanted it and just let the chain drop to see if I had it long enough. If I didn't have it long enough, I added some chains and then remeasured. And so that's how I did the front. So the front is a little bit bigger than the back. It doesn't take away from it at all. Again, this is the first time that I've actually designed. I did not design the stitch count. I'm not going to claim that I designed the stitch count. Anyway, I did the back first and then I did the front. And when I got up to a certain point, I measured, I measured here to see how open that I wanted it, and I measured the middle. And so I decreased each row. I went in, I did my regular back and forth, but I decreased on the inside, so it was like a v-neck. It started out as a huge v-neck, and then I tried it on the other day, and it's in another video. And I have another video that I was going to upload and decided not to upload because I wasn't sure how I was going to do the sleeves. I didn't do the sleeves the way I wanted to do the sleeves, but I like them anyway. So I didn't like the way they were turning out when I did them before, and so I had to end up ripping them both out. And then the back is, it's not really bumpy rippled, and I just kind of, I joined a shell, joined a down point, joined a shell, put them together, and then chained to the next shell, and then, or not chained, single crocheted to the next shell, and then joined the shell, the down, and the shell all the way around the back, or from shoulder to shoulder on the back to get it to where I wanted it. And then I did single crochet around and around and around. I had 4 rows of single crochet in the 5.5, and then I had the rest of the rows, I didn't really count how many rows, of a 4.5 hook single crochet. The sleeves, I went around and around, same stitch pattern as the top. I did post it in several groups. I tried to post it to Bag O' Day. If you don't see it in Bag O' Day, I completely understand, and I might rant just a little bit. I understand why it didn't post a bag a day, and I'm okay with that. Almost completely. I did use her stitch count, but I did not use her pattern. It is her pattern. It is not what she made in the tutorial, but it is her pattern. The top's not her pattern. The top is my pattern. The stitch count is her pattern. And I wasn't sure if it was okay if I put it there or not, and it was declined. For it really irritates me when I see that people say that they're going to leave a group or whatever because their post gets declined or their post doesn't get answered or whatever. You know, in all honesty, if you want all your pictures seen, post them in other groups that you're in, post them in your own group, share, share, share. That's all I can say. Groups have their own rules for their own reasons, and that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with them having their own rules. There's nothing wrong with them deciding what they want in their group and what they don't want in their group, and this was not an exact pattern by Bag O'Day. It was her stitch count, it was not her pattern. Now, number 2 about this, I will always, if I use somebody else's stitch count from a tutorial that they do, from a pattern that they have, whether it is the actual pattern, I will always try to give that person credit because I didn't come up with it myself. I probably could have, but I didn't. I used her stitch count. I used the way she used it. I just used it differently. And so I'm not trying to con or talk my way out of whatever whoever decided. That's on them, and I'm okay with it. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to complain. I mean, this is the only complaining that I'm going to do. It's all in my head. The rest of it's in my head, and believe me, there's a whole lot there. But I do understand. This is not her pattern. So I understand completely, and I'm okay with it. I really do like this top, although it is very, very hot. It started out, well, I don't know what, at 6:50 it was 50 degrees. I don't know what it got up to. I think it was supposed to get up to 74. It may have gotten hotter, but as I was walking to catch the bus to go into town, I took my jacket off when I got to the bus stop because I was getting hot. I don't remember if I unzipped it before I got to the bus stop or not. I unzipped it maybe part of the way, unzipped it the rest of the way when I got to the bus stop, then just decided to take it off because it was too hot. It's very warm on the body, but you don't have covering on the arms. I'm okay with no covering on the arms because I did not want long sleeves. And the way that I had intended to do the sleeves first was to do my tongue just wants to fly. Is to do an asymmetrical sleeve. So I was going to do about this long of a sleeve here and then go back and forth up here. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I just want to get it done. And then on the bottom, all I did, I'm not going to show you the bottom. On the bottom, all I did was 2 rows of single crochets along the bottom to kind of make it look a little better. And then I was done. Just a minute. Kids when they get home from school. Super fun. Okay, so anyway, I got this finished. I'm super pleased with it. So, now I have a little bit of a haul. I got more storage. That's from Goodwill. Of course, it's Christmas storage, but yarn knows no holidays, right? So, in the first opening, or in the first jeepers. In the first packet I got some fleece because my sister wants an essential oil bag, a bag for her essential oils. Now, I made her one 3 years ago. She had wanted one, and I think she found one on Etsy or something, and she wanted it before she came here in March for her youngest son's wedding. So I said that I would make her one, or she asked me to make her one, I don't remember, but that was a whole mess when I sent it. It was a different postal carrier that delivered it, but they didn't deliver it, they just took it back to the post office, so then she had to go and pick it up. Because that postal carrier, even though they delivered to where she was working all the time, he had no clue where to deliver it at. Big mess. So I went to Michael's and I picked up some latte cakes. Now, not all of our latte cakes were $2.97. Some of them were still $9.99. And well, I myself got 5 latte cakes. I think I have another 6 latte cakes coming in from Colorado. I'm not sure. But they're for 2 more sweaters. Possibly another 9 latte cakes for 3 more sweaters. 1 sweater for sure, possibly 2 or 3. Not quite sure on the 2 or 3, but for sure on the 1. Anyway, so I got this color. This is the Mineral Vineyard. It is 58% acrylic, 42 nylon, 530 yards, 8.8 ounces, 250 grams. And so it's the blues and the greens. I'm not really thrilled about that color, but it was one of the colors that they had, so I got 3 of those. And then I got 2 of these. Let me turn it around. And this is the Frozen Glacier. So it's the reds and the blues and kind of a pinkish, tannish color. I got 2 of these. And then the ones the ones that my sister in Colorado got that was here, she has a red macaroon sweater. The 527 bag a day pattern. So she has that one. She has a red macaroon. She got plum. I think she got blackberry, and I think she was going to get gray. So probably all 4 of us girls will have a sweater by the end of the year. Probably by the end of a few months from now. Probably by the end of the summer for sure. If she comes out in July. I don't know if she's going to send the yarn, if she's going to bring the yarn, if she's going to send it with my sister that has kids that live here. I don't know how she's going to do that. But however she decides to do it, whatever. My sister that comes to see her kids doesn't stay for very many days, and so she only stays for like two days, and I'm not doing one in 2 days, because I'm not staying up for 48 hours to do a stinking sweater. No, thank you. So, that's my finished, well, this is my finished object, and that is my haul. Anything else? I don't think so. The only other haul that I have is medications, and nobody wants to know about that, right? What am I working on? Well, I started the Jawa, and I started Ray, but instead of dropping the yarn, I carried it through, and then you've got white where there's supposed to be brown, white flecks where there's supposed to be brown, which is not bad. And brown flecks where they're supposed to be white, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna take it down to where the white starts, where the face starts. I'm gonna take it down to there, and then I will drop the color and pick it up when I need to. And there'll be like strings in the middle and whatever, but or I don't know. But anyway, so I will see you all. Ouch. I don't know when. Next week sometime. But anyway, I do like this, and I'm probably gonna make another top, with the same stitch count. But as I said, and I know you're probably sick of hearing it, I will always try to give the person that does the pattern, the stitch count, whatever, credit for doing it first. If I find it somewhere else, I'll add that person or book or whatever into it. I understand. I understand. Yeah, it's frustrating. But I understand. And I'm okay. I'm okay. Really. So, anyway, I will talk to you all later. And I don't color control. I just let my colors go as they're gonna go. This shirt, this yarn was actually meant for for the chevron top of Bag O' Dates patterns. I have no idea what the number is. I started it like almost 4 years ago. And I got so far and I didn't work on it. I stopped working on it. And I'd pick it up and do, a couple rounds, and then I'd put it away and not work on it again for a long time. So I just frogged it and made this one. Alright, happy weekend. Have a good one. Happy yarning. And if you're on my Instagram, I'm sorry. If you're on my Instagram, you get to know the little tidbits and pieces about what my 16-year-old thinks about yarning. Alright, bye. Happy yarning.